Hello everyone. This is Six Path Weeb, and welcome back to my YouTube anime fanfic channel. Today, we're diving into part 3 of our exciting What If series. What if Naruko had mastered the Flying Raijin technique early on? Get ready for some epic twists, high-speed action, and unexpected developments in this alternate Naruto universe. Disclaimer: this content is for entertainment and discussion purposes only. I do not own any of the anime footage used in my videos. All rights and credits go to their respective creators and copyright holders. Alright, let's get into it, guys. About a day had passed since returning from the Land of Waves. Naruko and her team were given the day off to rest. Taking advantage of the break, Naruko wandered around the village, hoping to run into Hinata. She really wanted to talk to her before the team met up again in a couple of days for training. Hours went by as Naruko strolled through the streets, but there was still no sign of Hinata. Deciding to take a short break, Naruko headed to Ichiraku Ramen for a warm meal. As soon as she arrived, she called out, "Hey! 2 miso bowls, please." "Oh, hey Naruko. Long time no see. Sorry, but Dad's not here right now, it's just me," replied a friendly voice. It was Ayame, the kind-hearted young woman with brown hair who often helped at the ramen shop. "Hey Ayame. Yeah, I've been out on a pretty challenging mission," Naruko answered. "Oh wow, hope everything went alright." It did. Sasuke had a bit of a rough time, but he's doing fine now. Ayame gave a relieved smile. "That's good to hear. Here you go, enjoy," she said, handing Naruko the first steaming bowl of ramen. "Thanks." Meanwhile, Hinata looked curiously at her team leader. Kurenai-sensei? Why did we stop?" "I just need to check something real quick." "Stay right here, I'll be back in a moment," Kurenai replied with a calm smile. After finishing her meal, Naruko resumed her search for Hinata. About an hour later, she heard Kiba's voice coming from inside a nearby restaurant, excitedly talking about their most recent mission. Curious, Naruko peeked through the window and saw Hinata sitting beside a woman with long black hair, dressed in a white outfit with a red sleeve. Naruko recognized her as Hinata's sensei, Kurenai Yuhi, since she had seen her during team orientations. Not wanting to cause a scene or draw attention, Naruko decided to wait nearby until the group started to leave. About 30 minutes later, the team exited the restaurant and went their separate ways, but not quite how Naruko had hoped. Kiba and Shino went in one direction, while Hinata and Kurenai headed off in another. Naruko followed quietly, assuming Kurenai was walking Hinata home. But after a few minutes, the two stopped. From where she was hidden, Naruko could see Kurenai speaking softly to Hinata, and then, suddenly, she was gone, disappeared from sight. Before Naruko could process what happened, she felt a hand gently cover her mouth from behind. The scent of light perfume let her know it was a woman. "Shh, don't be alarmed. I just need you to keep your voice down when I let go, alright?" the voice said kindly. Naruko nodded, and the hand was removed. Stepping back, Naruko turned to see it was Kurenai. "Why did you sneak up on me like that?" Naruko asked, slightly flustered. "Well, I could ask you the same thing. You were following us," Kurenai said gently, though clearly curious. Naruko looked away, slightly embarrassed. "I wasn't following you. I was just trying to talk to Hinata." "That's unusual," Kurenai said with a thoughtful tone. "Usually, it's Hinata who watches you from afar. So, what's the reason you wanted to talk to her?" Naruko hesitated. "Does it really matter to you? I mean, aside from being her sensei?" Kurenai gave a slight smile. "I'm just trying to understand. And I think you'll find I'm pretty open-minded. So why not share what's on your mind?" "You're not going to let me talk to her unless I tell you, huh?" "That depends," Kurenai replied with a calm voice. "It all comes down to what it's about." Naruko sighed, glancing to the side. "So basically, you're saying no unless I explain." Kurenai raised an eyebrow. "Well, you haven't told me anything yet. Why do you assume I'd say no?" "Oh, I don't know. What do you think?" Naruko said, her voice carrying a trace of frustration. "I understand. You're thinking I might not let you speak to Hinata because of what others may say or think about you. But that's not how I see things." "Huh?" "I'll make you a deal," Kurenai offered kindly. "Tell me what you want to say to her, and I'll make sure you get the chance, no matter what." Naruko was surprised by her words, but slowly nodded. "Alright. Deal." She reached out to shake Kurenai's hand. Taking her hand with a smile, Kurenai said, "I'm Kurenai Yuhi, Hinata's teacher, as I'm sure you already know. So, what did you want to talk to her about?" As they finished the handshake, she noticed Naruko's cheeks turning pink. Well, I kind of wanted to ask her out on a date, Naruko admitted shyly, avoiding eye contact. I see, Kurenai said with a thoughtful smile. That's interesting. I've heard you've had a bit of a crush on Sakura Haruno. Or am I mistaken? I used to, Naruko admitted. But not anymore. Some people say you still do. Naruko chuckled lightly. That's just an act, Kurenai-sensei. An act? What do you mean? Kurenai asked gently, now even more intrigued. Naruko looked Hinata-sensei in the eyes and replied sincerely, I started having feelings for Hinata months before we graduated. We really got to know each other one day, she was incredibly kind and understanding toward me. That was about a month before I asked Sakura out. Honestly, I only asked Sakura because I knew she wouldn't say yes. Kurenai raised her eyebrows, clearly surprised by Naruko's honesty. She couldn't sense any insincerity in her words. Still, she needed to know more. Then why pretend to like Sakura, if you say you care for Hinata? And why now? Naruko took a breath. Because Hinata comes from a respected clan. She has a family name people treat with honor. I don't have that. I've grown up without parents, and people often look at me differently. Because of something I carry inside. Hinata's different though, she actually sees me. I want to tell her everything first before I ask her out. But if she says yes, it has to be kept private until people are more accepting of who I am. Kurenai considered her words. She didn't necessarily agree with the secrecy, but she couldn't deny the thoughtfulness behind Naruko's plan. And how do you plan to keep it quiet? Naruko nodded, already prepared. By continuing like we've been. I'll keep pretending to have feelings for Sakura, and Hinata will just keep acting like usual. If we go on dates, we'll use a transformation jutsu to disguise ourselves. That way, Hinata won't face trouble from anyone who disapproves. But only if she wants to do this, and accepts what it means to be with me. Kurenai gave her a small smile. You've really thought this through, haven't you? I assume you want me to keep this conversation private as well? If Hinata agrees to all of it, then yes, Naruko replied. In that case, go talk to her. I'll step aside and give you two some privacy. Meanwhile, Hinata had started wondering where her teacher had gone, so she decided to search for her. Activating her Byakugan, she was startled to discover her sensei speaking with Naruko. Curious, Hinata quietly moved closer to listen. The first thing she heard was Naruko saying, well, I kind of wanted to ask her out on a date. With each passing word, Hinata's face turned a brighter shade of red, eventually matching the color of a dark red apple. She didn't mind the idea of keeping the relationship secret. What mattered most was the chance to be close to Naruko. Just hearing Kurenai give her blessing made Hinata's heart flutter, before she fainted with a quiet thump. Startled by the sound, Naruko and Kurenai rushed over. Turning the corner, they found Hinata unconscious. Something tells me Hinata heard most of that, Kurenai said with a sigh. Come on, Naruko. You'll probably want a quiet place to talk with her when she wakes up. Right, Naruko replied, following closely. Where would you like to go? On top of the Hokage monument, Naruko suggested. Sounds perfect, Kurenai said with a smile. Not a bad spot for a heart-to-heart. Hinata's finally getting her moment. When Hinata woke up, she blinked at her surroundings, confused. Huh? Why am I here? She murmured. Finally awake, sleepyhead? Naruko teased gently. Hinata turned quickly and saw Naruko smiling at her. Eep. So, how much did you hear? Naruko asked. Blushing deeply, Hinata responded, I heard everything. Starting from when you said you kind of wanted to ask someone out on a date. Naruko hesitated. I see. So, what would your answer be? Hinata's face turned an even brighter shade. But she nodded and said softly, why yes. I'd love to. Naruko was stunned. Really? Why yes. I've liked you for a long time, Naruko, Hinata admitted. Naruko felt her heart lift at those words, but she knew she had more to share. There's something I need to tell you before we go any further. It's important, and it might change how you see me. What is it? Hinata asked, concerned. Naruko took a deep breath. Well, the reason some people in the village treat me differently is because of something that happened when I was born. Hinata tilted her head. I thought you didn't know why people avoided you? I didn't, not for a long time. But then Mizuki told me something during an incident. He said that I had a powerful spirit sealed inside me, the one that once caused great trouble in the village. Hinata gasped. But, you're our age. That's not even possible. I know. But some people still blame me because I carry that spirit. It was sealed in me to protect the village. Hinata's heart ached. Everything made sense now, the looks, the isolation, the loneliness. So that's why. That's why everyone kept their distance. Even my own family. She stepped closer and hugged Naruko gently from behind as Naruko sat on the edge of the monument. Naruko was surprised. You're not afraid of me? Hinata shook her head. I might be a little nervous about what it means, but I know you. You've protected all of us, even when people didn't treat you kindly. That makes me admire and care for you even more. Naruko blinked, feeling overwhelmed by the warmth in Hinata's words. So, does this mean you still want to be my girlfriend? Even if we have to keep it a secret for now? Yes, Hinata said, nodding. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but I understand. I don't like the idea of you pretending with Sakura, but I know you're doing it to protect us. Just. Please let me know when you feel ready to share more. Naruko was about to answer when she gently covered Hinata's mouth with her hand and whispered, sorry, but your sensei is still nearby. I trust her with our relationship, but not with everything yet. Okay? Hinata nodded, and Naruko let go with an apologetic smile. I understand, Hinata whispered. Just tell me when you're ready. At that moment, Kurenai stepped into view. Trust you with what, exactly? She asked with a teasing tone. Naruko stood up calmly. It's not about you, Kurenai-sensei. I've just had big secrets kept from me before, so I hope you'll understand. It takes time for me to trust fully. Kurenai nodded thoughtfully. Fair enough. Is Hinata the only one who knows? The Hokage knows, Naruko said. And after our last mission, I plan to tell my teammates and my sensei. I see. Well, I hope in time you'll trust me too. For now, Hinata, it's time for us to head back. Yes, sensei, Hinata replied, still holding Naruko's hand with a gentle smile. As they were walking away, Kurenai turned around to give Naruko a quick, gentle warning. Before I forget, Naruko, if you ever make Hinata uncomfortable or push her to do something she isn't ready for, I'll be very disappointed, and we'll have to have a serious talk. Do you understand? Why yes, Kurenai-sensei, Naruko replied, a bit nervous but respectful. Shortly after, she went to get some ramen, feeling cheerful and lighthearted. 2 days passed, and Squad 7 had gathered at their usual training ground. Everyone was present, except Kakashi, of course. When he finally arrived, he was met with an earful from Sakura, who wasn't pleased with his usual lateness. Naruko, however, was unusually quiet, which caught everyone's attention. Kakashi noticed and decided to ask about it. Yo, Naruko. Why so quiet today? You're usually just as vocal as Sakura when I'm late, he said casually. I'm okay, sensei. There's just something I need to share with all of you, Naruko said, her gaze fixed on the ground. That's not like her, thought Sasuke, raising an eyebrow. What's this about? I kind of want to wrap up and try asking Sasuke out again, thought Sakura. Does this have to do with what happened on the bridge in the Land of Waves, when Sasuke jumped in to help you? Kakashi asked, sensing the connection. Yeah, it does, Naruko nodded. If I had told you all earlier. Maybe it could have been avoided. I'm not the best at this kind of thing, but I never want someone getting into danger for me like that again. I see. So what is it then? Kakashi asked gently. I think it's easier if I just show you, Naruko replied. She then walked away from the group, pulling out a kunai as she moved toward the center of the training field. She threw the kunai toward a tree behind Kakashi, and as it flew past the group, Naruko vanished in a sudden flash of golden light. They didn't even hear the kunai hit the tree. Huh? She disappeared? Where did she go? Sakura asked, eyes wide in disbelief. Good question. Where did she go? Sasuke echoed, clearly surprised. Did any of you hear the kunai strike the tree? Kakashi asked, though he already knew the answer. As the team turned around, they saw Naruko standing calmly behind them, holding the very kunai she had just thrown. How did you get behind us so fast? The kunai had already gone past before you disappeared. Was that some kind of illusion? Sakura asked, stunned. Sasuke was equally taken aback. Since when does she move that fast? Is that how she managed to tag Zabuza and Haku during our last mission? He wondered. No, it wasn't an illusion, Kakashi replied. He was both amazed and intrigued. Only one person had ever used a technique like this before. Naruko. Where did you learn the Flying Raijin jutsu? What's that, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked curiously. It's a high-level teleportation technique that the 4th Hokage used during the Third Great Ninja War, Kakashi explained. It made him the fastest shinobi in the world. After his time, the technique was believed to be lost. Until now. I found it a couple of years ago, Naruko admitted. It was around the same time I accidentally splashed paint on the Hokage monument. I've been practicing it ever since. Everyone looked at Naruko as if she had just told them she could fly. What? She asked innocently. How did you even know what it was? Sakura asked. Just because I didn't have the best grades doesn't mean I can't do my own research. I thought it was a really cool technique, so I studied it on my own. But the 4th Hokage was my mentor, Kakashi said, visibly intrigued. I never even came close to finding any trace of that technique. How exactly did you stumble upon it? You're serious? The 4th was your teacher? That's awesome. Naruko beamed, then went on to explain everything, how she discovered the scroll, the moment she'd used the jutsu, though she left out that Hinata had been the first to find out and the scroll's exact hiding place. So let me get this straight, Sakura said, trying to wrap her head around it. You've been using this jutsu for over a year now, you're always first to class. And yet you couldn't manage the basic clone jutsu? Yup. I could only use it a few times a day at first. But ever since Kakashi-sensei taught us tree climbing, my chakra control got way better. Now I can use it a whole lot more. Where is the scroll now, Naruko? Kakashi asked. I put it back where I found it. Just in case someone stumbled across it. I see. Did you learn any other techniques from the scroll? No, I thought it was better to wait until I had someone experienced to help me. Kakashi gave a small sigh of relief. That's good thinking. Does the Hokage know about all this? Yeah, he does. You can ask him if you want. Actually, could you help me learn the rest of the techniques from the scroll? Naruko asked with hopeful eyes. Forget it, Naruko, Sakura interrupted. Someone like Sasuke should be learning those kinds of techniques. He'd be much better at them than you. Naruko's face fell a little, but before she could respond, Kakashi raised his voice calmly. No. These techniques were never meant to be handed out casually, even among our own village. The 4th Hokage had no official heir to pass them on to, so this is something that only the Hokage himself can decide. Whether Naruko, or anyone else, is permitted to learn from the scroll will be his decision. Is that clear? Yes, Sensei, Sakura said, somewhat reluctantly. All right then. It's a bit late to begin training now. We'll take on a short mission instead and call it a day. But first, let's grab some lunch. Naruko, go get the scroll and bring it with you to the Hokage's office. He'll decide what happens next. I'll save you some food, so don't worry. Okay, Kakashi-sensei, Naruko said with a smile, dashing off to retrieve the scroll. Naruko quietly arrived at the 4th Hokage's old, unused home. She needed to be quick so no one would notice her. Moving silently toward the fireplace, she retrieved a hidden scroll along with a bundle of letters. Curious, she sat down and began to read. Dear Naruko. It's me, your mom. My name is Kushina Uzumaki, and I'm writing this while I'm still expecting you. Your father and I decided to write these letters in case something unexpected happens on the day you're born. If you're reading this, then some of those events may have taken place, and the 9-tailed fox has been sealed within you. Please understand, this was never something we wished for you. If it happened, it was because we had no other option. We both love you more than words can say, and that love will always be with you no matter what. I'm sure you've had your ups and downs at school. If you have, that's something we actually share in common, ha. I hope this helps prove I'm really your mom. I also hope you've read this letter before the next one, it'll make that letter an even bigger surprise. My final wishes for you, if I can't be there to say them in person, study hard, especially if you're still in school. Make lots of friends and be kind to those around you. Eat plenty of vegetables and stay strong. And I hope you meet someone truly special one day, someone who brings you joy and laughter. No matter where you go or what you do, remember I'll always be in your heart. I love you so much. Love, Mom. P.S. Learn about the Uzumaki clan. Our people were once numerous, but now we're nearly gone. Our homeland was located northeast of the Land of Waves. Even though our numbers are few now, our spirit lives on in you. I love you, my daughter. Always. Naruko was speechless. A heartfelt letter from her mother. Found in the old home of the 4th Hokage. Her heart swelled with emotions, but there was still one more letter to read. She had a feeling she knew who it was from. Dear Naruko. It's me, your dad. My name is Minato Namikaze, also known as the Yellow Flash or the Fourth Hokage. If you're reading this, then the nine-tailed fox is sealed within you, and your mother and I can no longer be by your side in person. I want you to know, this was never what we wanted for you. We hoped you would be seen as a strong, courageous hero. That was always my wish for you. People may not always understand or see clearly, but I believe in you with all my heart. I hope you can forgive us for the burden we couldn't protect you from. If you've only just discovered the truth about us, please don't be upset with those who may have kept it from you. The third Hokage might have chosen to wait until the right time, and he always acted with the village's best interest in mind. He didn't mean to hurt you. Just like your mom, I have dreams for you. I hope you become the best shinobi you can be, if that's the path you choose. Most of all, I want you to follow your heart, pursue your dreams, and be proud of who you are. I will always love you, Naruko. With all my love, Dad. P.S. The scroll with these letters contains jutsu meant just for you. And don't be upset with Kakashi or Jiraiya, they care about you deeply. I love you, my daughter. Always. Naruko stared at the letters for a long time. It was hard to process. Her greatest hero, the fourth Hokage, was her father. And her loving mother had written to her with such warmth and care. She didn't feel anger toward her parents, not at all. But her heart felt a storm of emotion when she realized others had known the truth and hadn't told her. Her eyes burned with frustration as she thought about it. They knew. They knew and didn't tell me. Why? Naruko thought, clenching the letters close to her chest. They should have told me. I deserve to know the truth. With her emotions stirring, she knew she had to find answers, and the first person she planned to speak with was the third Hokage. In the Hokage Tower, Kakashi and his team, minus Naruko, stood outside the third Hokage's office, waiting for their teammate to arrive. Once Naruko showed up, they would be allowed to enter and receive their next mission. While they waited, Squad 10 arrived, having come to report the completion of their C-ranked mission. Hey, forehead girl. Just now getting a C-ranked mission? With Sasuke on your team, I'd have thought you'd be on your third by now. Guess Naruko and you are slowing things down. That's too bad, Ino said teasingly, pausing as she noticed Team 7. Oh please, Ino, Sakura replied, rolling her eyes and sticking out her tongue. We finished 1 day ago. We're just here to get another. Right, then Sasuke must have carried the whole thing with teammates like you too, Ino quipped. Their teammates and sensei sighed quietly, clearly used to their banter. This is such a drag. Anyway, where's Naruko? Shikamaru asked, looking as bored as ever. Huh? Oh, she had to take care of, never mind. Sakura began to speak before Kakashi gently placed a hand over her mouth. Sakura, Kakashi whispered quietly, this is something Naruko hasn't shared with anyone. It's important to respect her privacy, alright? He removed his hand so Sakura could reply in a hushed tone. But why, sensei? I mean with that juts. Think about it, Sakura. If Naruko hasn't told us, her own team, what makes you think she'd want it known outside of our squad? I guess. But why keep something like that secret? She has her reasons, Kakashi said with a calm tone. For now, neither you nor Sasuke should say anything about it. No matter what. Asuma, who overheard the whispering, raised an eyebrow. What's all the whispering about, Kakashi? Nothing serious, Kakashi replied with a small smile. Just a reminder about teamwork and communication that I forgot to mention earlier. Didn't take you for someone who forgets things, Asuma said casually. Anyway, we'll go report now. Catch you later. See you around, Kakashi replied. After Squad 10 went into the office, Kakashi turned to Sasuke. I'm not going to say anything, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke said without being prompted, understanding the importance of keeping things quiet. Kakashi simply nodded in appreciation. Around 10 minutes passed before Squad 10 exited, having finished their report. Ino and Sakura traded a few more playful jabs as they left, which were met with more exasperated sighs from their teammates. As Squad 7 waited, they suddenly heard Naruko's voice from the stairwell, and it didn't sound calm. Enough, Ino. I'm really not in the mood right now, Naruko snapped after hearing Ino insult her skills. Oh no. This doesn't sound good, Kakashi thought, feeling a chill despite the warmth of early summer. Naruko reached their floor, her expression unreadable but intense. I need to speak to the Hokage privately, she said as she walked past her team. Without waiting for a response, she entered the office without knocking. Kakashi's expression turned thoughtful. This really might not be good, he thought. Kakashi-sensei? What's going on with Naruko? Sakura asked, concerned. I've never seen her this upset, not even during the Land of Waves mission. I'm not sure, Kakashi admitted. But I have a feeling it's something serious. Serious for you or for Lord Hokage, Sasuke muttered, thinking back to the look Naruko gave Kakashi before entering. Inside the office, the third Hokage looked up as Naruko entered. Her expression was firm. Is something bothering you, Naruko? He asked, already sensing the tension. A problem? Naruko replied, her voice raised in frustration. Yes, I do have a problem. Outside, Sakura flinched at Naruko's tone. She's actually raising her voice at the Hokage. This must really be serious. Yeah, Sasuke added. And judging by the way she looked at Kakashi-sensei earlier, he might be involved. Having activated the security seals in his office to ensure their conversation remained private, the third Hokage calmly signaled his Anbu guards to leave. Once they were alone, he turned to Naruko with a composed expression. Now, what seems to be the problem, Naruko? The problem is that you lied to me, Naruko shouted, her voice trembling with emotion. You told me you didn't know who my parents were, and that you'd try to find out. But you knew the truth all along. That was something incredibly important to me. I'm afraid I don't not. That's not true. She interrupted, slamming a pair of letters onto his desk before stepping back, taking a deep breath to keep her emotions in check. The third Hokage picked up the letters and scanned them quickly. His eyes widened slightly as he realized what they contained, acknowledgement from his predecessor that he had indeed known the truth all along. A quiet sigh escaped his lips. I'm sorry I lied, Naruko, he finally said, his voice filled with regret. Sorry? Naruko's voice cracked, her hands clenched at her sides. You think sorry makes up for all the years I spent wondering who I was? For how hard things have been for me? I learned that my own father sealed the 9 tails inside me. Me, his own daughter. She paused, wiping a tear from her cheek. I understand why you had to do it. I really do. But why did you lie? Why did you keep it a secret from the village? Things could have been different. I wouldn't have felt so alone. The Hokage nodded solemnly. You're right. Sorry isn't enough. But please, try to understand my reasons. At the time, and even now, there were many who wouldn't have taken the truth well. Revealing your parentage could have caused unrest within the village. People might have reacted in fear or anger. And outside the village, your parents had powerful adversaries. If their enemies learned who you were, it could have put you in serious danger. That law Mizuki mentioned, it was intended to protect you. It was meant to give you a chance at a peaceful life. Naruko listened quietly, the explanation slowly sinking in. I suppose that makes sense, she said softly. But still. You could have told me. I would have kept it secret if I knew how important it was. The third Hokage leaned forward slightly. And if, in a moment of frustration, you said something without meaning to? What if someone teased you for not having parents, and you let it slip? Naruko opened her mouth to reply, but no words came out. She sighed and looked down. I guess. I get it. It's not easy, he said gently. But being recognized for your own actions means more than being respected just because of your family name. Would you really want to be treated like Sasuke? Acknowledged only for his heritage, instead of his own merits? Naruko glanced up. You're right, old man. It means more this way. The Hokage smiled warmly. Now then, where did you find these letters? Oh. Naruko perked up. She explained how she had shown her team a special jutsu she'd been working on, and how Kakashi had told her to retrieve the scroll so the Hokage could evaluate it. That's when she discovered the letters hidden beneath it, ones she'd overlooked before. The third Hokage was stunned. Naruko had spotted a secret compartment behind a fireplace brick, yet had somehow missed these letters multiple times. And mastering such an advanced technique, the Flying Raijin, in just a year? It was truly remarkable. I see. Naruko, this information should be kept between you and the people you trust completely. Do you understand? Yeah, no problem, old man. But I still need to talk to Kakashi-sensei about it. Yes. That conversation can wait. I believe your team is awaiting their next mission. Oh right. I totally forgot, Naruko chuckled sheepishly. With a wave of his hand, the third released the security seals and called in the rest of Squad 7. You may enter. Good afternoon, Lord Hokage, Kakashi greeted. I hope Naruko hasn't caused too much trouble. Nothing to worry about, Kakashi, Hiruzen replied. but the two of you should speak privately later. Of course. For now, just a quick D-rank mission, and we'll be on our way. Very well. Here you are. He handed over the mission scroll. Take care, Kakashi. I've handled most of the pressure on your behalf. Kakashi accepted the scroll with a nod of gratitude, though his expression was a mix of relief and curiosity. He had no idea what to expect next. Later, as Squad 7 was pulling weeds in a local herb garden, Naruko carefully avoided disturbing any of the valuable plants. PSST, Naruko, Sakura whispered. Huh? What's up, Sakura? What was that all about back in Lord Hokage's office? You seemed really upset, even more than during the Land of Waves mission. Oh. I just figured something out. Something important. It got me worked up a bit, that's all. Nothing to worry about, Naruko replied with a small, reassuring smile. But you seemed mad at both the Hokage and Kakashi-sensei. It's nothing serious, Naruko assured her. I just need to talk to Kakashi-sensei about it later. That'll be the end of it. Sakura hesitated, but remembered what Kakashi had said earlier. She decided to trust Naruko to open up in her own time. Well. Okay. Squad 7 returned to the 3rd Hokage's office to report the successful completion of their mission. Well done, all of you. You're dismissed, said the 3rd Hokage with a kind smile. Excuse me, Lord Hokage, Sakura spoke up politely. What is it, Sakura? The Hokage asked, already sensing this wasn't just a routine follow-up. Earlier, when we came here, it wasn't only to request a mission, Sakura explained carefully. Oh? And what else brought you here? The Hokage inquired, activating the protective seals in his office and motioning for the Onbu guards to leave for a second time that day. Naruko told us she had discovered the 4th Hokage's most powerful technique. She even demonstrated it. She said she found it in the 4th Hokage's former residence, so because everyone knows the 4th Hokage didn't have an acknowledged successor, you assumed the scroll with his jutsu should go to Sasuke, the Hokage concluded, his tone calm and thoughtful. Naruko already spoke to me about it. That jutsu has been lost for many years. We had all given up hope of it being recovered. Since no one in the village could locate it, we believed it was safer hidden wherever it was. The Hokage's voice became more serious. I've known that Naruko found the jutsu since before your graduation. In fact, she's known about it for over a year, and no one else outside of this room is aware. I believe it's best that it stays that way. He continued, I've considered who should be entrusted with the 4th Hokage's scroll, and I believe it should remain with Naruko. She found it, kept it safe, and has shown great responsibility. It's safer with her. Understood? Sakura looked a little hesitant. But what about Sasuke? I think he could use the jutsu effectively too. If Naruko chooses to share some techniques with her teammates, that's entirely her decision, the Hokage responded gently but firmly. However, none of you are to pressure her into doing so. Is that clear? Sakura, though slightly disappointed, nodded. Yes, Lord Hokage. Yes, Lord Hokage, echoed Kakashi and Sasuke. Good. Then you're all dismissed, the Hokage concluded. Later that day, after Squad 7 had parted ways until their next training session, Naruko and Kakashi remained together. They sat atop the Hokage monument, overlooking the village as the sun began to set. Kakashi turned to her. So, what was all that about earlier? I get the feeling you're upset with me. Go ahead, ask what's on your mind. Still looking out over the village, Naruko spoke softly. When we first became Jonin. Why didn't you tell me? And why weren't you there for me? Kakashi blinked. I'm not sure what you mean, Naruko. I'm talking about my parents. The 4th Hokage was my father, and my mother's name was Kushina Uzumaki. You said yourself that the 4th was your teacher. Kakashi was surprised. He hadn't expected her to piece it all together so soon. I see. So that's what this is about. You're right, I did say that. I didn't tell you because I didn't know how you would take it. It wasn't just about you, it was also about keeping your heritage safe. Lord Hokage must have mentioned that as well. Naruko gave a small nod. Kakashi sighed gently. Even though you didn't see me, I was always there, just out of sight. Watching from the shadows to keep you safe, and to protect the secret of who you are. I'm sorry you felt alone. That was never the intention. There was a quiet moment between them, the breeze gently rustling their hair. It's okay, Kakashi-sensei, Naruko said at last. I understand. I just think it might have been easier if I'd known sooner, that's all. Maybe, Kakashi agreed. But there was always the risk that it would slip out. I'm sure you understand that now. Yeah, I do. Anyway, sensei. Would you help me learn some of the jutsu from the scroll? It would mean a lot to me. Kakashi smiled, seeing the sincerity in her eyes. Of course, Naruko. I'd be happy to. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. But before we start, could you tell me more about my parents? What were they like? Let's see, Kakashi said, thinking back fondly. You resemble your father a lot, but your personality is very much like your mother's. They were both strong and compassionate people. They were so happy when they found out they were expecting you. Your mother was a little wild, kind of like you, to be honest. She wasn't the best in class, but she had the most spirit. A real firecracker. Naruko laughed softly, her cheeks pink with pride. Kakashi continued to share memories and stories, painting a vivid picture of her parents and their legacy. Hey, sensei? My mom mentioned the Uzumaki clan in the letter she left for me. What can you tell me about them? Ah, that explains how you learned your background. Well, the Uzumaki clan was famous for their talent in sealing jutsu. It's one of the most complex forms of ninjutsu, and they were true masters of it. Your father learned sealing techniques from your grandmother, your mom's mother. That knowledge was incredibly important for protecting the village. Naruko's eyes widened. Wow, so the Uzumaki were really amazing. And the land of eddies, was that really where they came from? Kakashi nodded gently. Yes. The village hidden in the whirlpools. It wasn't one of the 5 great nations, but the clan was strong and respected. They even helped found the hidden leaf. You've probably noticed that the red spiral symbol on the back of your vest, everyone from Chunin and up wears it, that's the Uzumaki clan symbol. It's a tribute to them. Wait, so does that mean I'm the last one? Naruko asked quietly. Kakashi paused. As far as we know, you're the only confirmed member of the Uzumaki clan left. But your mother once said that most of the clan was lost, not all. So there's still a chance you might find someone else one day. And that hope matters. Naruko gazed out over the village, her heart filled with a mix of longing and hope. The idea of possibly finding a relative someday brought a soft smile to her face. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. It really meant a lot to hear all this, she said warmly. Anyway, I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I'm heading to Ichiraku's, see you tomorrow. With a joyful wave, she dashed off in the direction of her favorite ramen stand. Kakashi watched her go, smiling under his mask. She's growing stronger every day. I'm sure that's what you would have wanted, sensei. He glanced back at the 4th Hokage's monument, the sky painted in soft oranges and pinks. So Sasuke, what do you think about Naruko having that scroll? Sakura asked. It was the next day, and both Sasuke and Sakura were waiting for Naruko and Kakashi at their training ground. TCH, it doesn't really matter. Just because Naruko has that scroll doesn't mean she can actually use everything in it properly. She's still got a lot to learn, Sasuke replied calmly. Yeah, I guess that's true. But wouldn't you want those techniques for yourself? I mean, you'd probably be able to use them more efficiently. Maybe we could ask her to share them, Sakura said thoughtfully. If you had those jutsu, Naruko would really have to work hard to catch up. No, Sasuke responded, shaking his head. You heard what Lord Hokage said. And besides, I already have the Uchiha clan's techniques. That scroll might help Naruko improve, but I'm still ahead. Oh, right. You've got a point. A point about what, Billboard Brow? Asked Ino as she appeared out of nowhere, tossing a light-hearted jab at Sakura. Ino pig, what do you want? Sakura replied, matching the playful tone. For one, why are you hanging out with my Sasuke? And two, what's going on with Naruko? She usually doesn't raise her voice like that. First of all, that's none of your business. And second, we're not sure. I asked her, but she didn't say anything. Who are you calling pig, Billboard Brow? And what do you mean she didn't say anything? She's your teammate. I told you, she wouldn't tell us. Do you need me to draw it out for you? Sakura responded, clearly annoyed that Ino was interrupting her time with Sasuke. Don't you have training or something? Nope. I just got back from a C-ranked mission yesterday. Remember? Oh right, I forgot. Hey everyone, what's up? Asked Naruko as she arrived at the training field. Ino? What are you doing here? I wanted to know why you yelled at me yesterday, Ino replied. That's not like you. Naruko frowned slightly. You said something hurtful yesterday, that's why. I don't appreciate being spoken to like that, she said quietly but firmly. Well, maybe what I said had some truth. It didn't, and I'll prove it. I'm going to train harder than ever and show you just how strong I've become, Naruko replied with determination in her voice. Oh yeah? Let's see what you've got, then, Ino responded, stepping into a stance. That's enough, both of you. Kakashi appeared suddenly on the field. Ino, this is team training time. Yes, sir. I was just leaving anyway, Ino replied casually as she turned and left. Though I would have been just fine in a spar, she added with a grin. After Ino left, Kakashi turned to Naruko. Naruko, I understand you want to keep your techniques private, but were you about to reveal one just now? I wasn't actually going to use it, I just got a little frustrated. I don't like being insulted, she admitted honestly. I understand, and it's okay to feel that way. Just remember to stay calm, okay? Let's focus on training. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, can you help me learn this jutsu? Naruko asked, holding up the scroll and pointing to the technique labeled, Fire Style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Let's check something first, Kakashi said, pulling out a small slip of paper. What's that, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked. This is chakra paper. It's made from chakra-infused trees. When someone channels their chakra into it, it reveals their chakra nature. What's a chakra nature? Naruko asked curiously. Sakura explained how chakra nature refers to elemental affinities. Some elements are stronger against others, while some are weaker. Kakashi added an example of how Haku could combine wind and water to create ice style, thanks to his unique bloodline trait. Okay, I think I get it now, Naruko said. Can I try? Go ahead, Kakashi replied, handing her the paper. Naruko focused her chakra, and the paper split cleanly in half. Interesting, you have the wind nature, Kakashi said. Wow. What's wind style like? Naruko asked excitedly. It's best used for slicing techniques. But it takes a lot of practice to master. I can't use it myself, but I'll help you with your training. Awesome. Kakashi-sensei, what about mine? Sakura asked. Kakashi handed her a chakra paper. When Sakura focused her chakra, the paper crumbled. Looks like you have lightning nature, same as me, Kakashi said. Isn't lightning style known for being fast and sharp, like a piercing force? That's right, Kakashi confirmed. Hey Kakashi-sensei, what if I combine my wind style with Sasuke's fire style? Naruko asked. It would make the fire jutsu stronger, Sasuke answered before Kakashi could, earning a look from Naruko. Exactly, Kakashi said. Alright, let's begin training. He then guided Naruko and Sakura in understanding how to work with their chakra nature, while helping Sasuke learn a new fire-based jutsu. A few days later, Naruko stood in front of a mirror, using her transformation jutsu. She was thrilled, she had just mastered her first wind-style technique, and tonight was her first date with Hinata. The two had agreed on disguises so no one would recognize them. Naruko now had short, spiky black hair, a light blue collared shirt, khaki pants, and the standard ninja sandals. She concealed her whisker-like marks but kept her natural eye color. She arrived early at the village's most popular tea house. Thanks to their disguises, Naruko wasn't worried about being recognized. She waited for about 10 minutes before spotting her. Hey Hina, wow, you look amazing, Naruko said with a warm smile. Hinata, dressed in a knee-length pink sleeveless dress with a subtle leopard print, smiled back. A black belt wrapped around her waist, and she wore a black shirt underneath. To stay hidden, she changed her eye color to a deep red and wore her long brown hair down. Thank you, Hiro, Hinata replied with a blush. So, should we head inside? Naruko asked, offering her arm. Why yes, Hinata replied softly, gently linking her arm with Naruko's and resting her hand on her forearm. Good evening. Just the two of you tonight? Asked a young waitress with a kind smile. Yes, Naruko, disguised as Hiro, replied. Alright, right this way. By the way, you two make a lovely pair, the waitress said kindly. Thank you, both girls replied, blushing as they followed her into the tea house. The waitress led them to a cozy booth by the window, marked for couples. She handed them menus with a friendly smile. What would you like to drink? She asked. I'll have a peppermint tea, please, said Hinata softly. And I'll have the same, thank you, added Naruko with a smile. Alright, I'll be right back with your drinks. With that, the waitress walked away. So, Have you had a C-ranked mission yet, Hina? Asked Naruko, turning to her friend. Why yes, we escorted a caravan of merchants to the border of the land of the sea, Hinata replied shyly. And so, their conversation continued through dinner, filled with stories of past missions and light laughter. Later that evening, they stood on top of the Hokage monument in their true appearances, still wearing the same outfits from earlier. Naruko gently held Hinata's hand. So, how'd you manage to sneak away for our date? Naruko asked warmly. Hinata blushed brightly at the question, nearly missing it in her nervousness. Huh? Oh, sorry. Kei Kurenai-sensei asked my father if I could stay over with her tonight. It was her idea for me to wear this dress, she said, cheeks glowing. Really? Wow, she's clever. That dress looks really beautiful on you, Naruko complimented sincerely. Really? Hinata asked. When Naruko nodded, she smiled shyly. Thank you, Naruko. No problem, Naruko replied, though a thoughtful expression slowly crossed her face. Is something bothering you, and Naruko? Hinata asked gently. Naruko sighed softly. Just something I found out a few days ago. Does it have anything to do with why you raised your voice at Ino? No, I was already upset before that. I only got frustrated with her because of something else. Why you mean Lord Hokage? Hinata asked, tilting her head in concern. Why? He told me he didn't know who my parents were, but he did. He knew all along. When I found out who they really were, and that both he and Kakashi-sensei had kept it from me, I just felt overwhelmed and had to talk to him about it. Hinata gasped softly. I can't believe they would keep something like that from you. I know, but he said he kept it quiet because it could have caused problems for the village. People might have reacted poorly, or my parents' old rivals might have caused trouble if they found out. Who were they? Hinata asked quietly. The Hokage said I shouldn't tell anyone unless I completely trust them. I haven't even told my team. But I trust you, Hinata. So please, don't tell Kurenai-sensei either, not yet. Oh of course, Naruko. I understand. My mom was Kushina Uzumaki. And my dad? Well, he was Minato Namikaze. I'm sure you've heard of him. Naruko gave a small chuckle. Hinata's eyes widened. Why you mean the fourth Hokage is why your father? She could hardly believe it, but now that she looked closer, she could see the resemblance. Yeah, kind of surprising, huh? Naruko said, scratching the back of her head. I never would have guessed, Naruko. But I'm really happy for you. I mean it. Thanks, Hinata. About 30 minutes later, Naruko and Hinata stood in front of Kurenai's place, still in disguise. Well, I guess this is good night, huh? Naruko said, smiling gently. I guess so. Good night, Naruko, Hinata replied, checking with her Byakugan to make sure no one was around. Good night, Hinata, Naruko whispered. She leaned in and kissed Hinata softly on the cheek before walking away, her face slightly red. Hinata stood frozen, her face glowing brighter than ever. Wow. I didn't think she'd be that bold, she murmured happily. Well. I didn't think she'd have the courage either, said Kurenai, appearing nearby as she released her genjutsu. Gasped Kei Kurenai-sensei. How long have you been there? Hinata stammered. I waited until you deactivated your Byakugan and kept hidden with the genjutsu, Kurenai explained kindly. Come on, let's go inside. You can tell me all about your evening. Hinata's face turned an even deeper shade of pink. Weeks had passed since Naruko and Hinata's first date, and they had gone on a few more since then. They were happy together. Naruko hadn't worked up the courage to kiss Hinata on the lips, but Hinata didn't mind. She was content just being close. Meanwhile, Squad 7 had split up after Kakashi saw a hawk overhead. Sasuke had gone off alone, and Sakura focused on practicing her jutsu. Just then, Konohamaru appeared with Moegi and Udon. After a small disagreement involving a light tease about Sakura's forehead, the group ran off laughing, which led them to a tense moment. A ninja from the Sand Village, dressed in a sleek, cat-like outfit, was holding Konohamaru up by his shirt. Next to him stood a blonde girl with her hair tied into 4 pigtails and a large fan strapped to her back. Hey, I'd put him down if I were you, Naruko said calmly, stepping forward. Oh yeah? And why should I? The boy asked. Just put him down, Kankuro. Before he shows up, the girl, Tamari, replied. Relax, Tamari. We've got time. Besides, This kid needs to learn a little humility, Kankuro said smugly. You're the one who needs a lesson in manners. That's the third Hokage's grandson, Naruko said firmly, her tone respectful yet assertive. Kankuro and Tamari both stiffened at that piece of information. You're joking, right? Kankuro asked. Do I look like I'm joking? Naruko asked with a smirk. Kankuro frowned and took a step forward, but before anything happened, a small pebble hit him on the cheek. Ow! What was that? He looked up to see Sasuke casually tossing another pebble in the air. Sasuke! I had it under control. Naruko called out. Tamari glanced at Sasuke and blushed slightly. He's kind of cute, she thought. Come down here so I can, Kankuro began, but he was quickly interrupted. Kankuro, you're embarrassing our village, a cool, calm voice said. A red-haired boy with a large gourd on his back stood on a nearby ledge. No. It can't be. His hair's not quite like mine or Mom's. Guess not an Uzumaki. Oh well, Naruko thought, eyeing the newcomer. I was just messing around, Gaara. Just having some fun, Kankuro said quickly. Let's go, Gaara said simply, stepping between his teammates. Wait. What business do you have in the Leaf Village? And who are you? Sasuke asked as he dropped from the tree. The group turned, and only Gaara replied. We're here for the Chunin exams. And I'm Gaara of the desert. What about you? Sasuke. Sasuke Uchiha. Gaara looked him over. I look forward to seeing how we compare. With that, he turned and walked away with his team. Humph. Let him focus on Sasuke. That just gives me the chance to shine when the time comes, Naruko thought with determination, a small smile on her lips. The Jounin sensei and several Chunin were gathered in the Hokage's council chambers, all aware of the purpose of their meeting. The third Hokage initiated the discussion, saying, I trust everyone knows why we're here. So, it's that time already, huh? I've already seen some of the ninja from other villages who will be participating, said Asuma. The Chunin selection exam should be quite interesting this time, Kakashi remarked. Indeed, that's correct. We will begin with the recommendations now, starting with the senseis of the rookie Jinan, the third Hokage said. I believe none of the rookies are quite ready for this exam yet, thought Iruka. Kakashi stepped forward and said, I'm Kakashi Hatake. My team consists of Naruko Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha. I recommend all three for the Chunin selection exam. Gasp what? Is she serious? Thought Iruka. Next was Kurenai. I'm Kurenai Yuhi. My team consists of Kiba Inuzuka, Hinata Hyuga, and Shino Aburame. I also recommend all three for the Chunin selection exam. Lastly, Asuma spoke up. I'm Asuma Sarutobi. My team consists of Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Choji Akamiki. I too recommend all three for the Chunin selection exam. After Asuma finished, the Jounin began murmuring amongst themselves. The idea of recommending all the rookies at once was unprecedented and had not happened in years. Hold on. Lord Hokage, excuse me, but there's no way those rookies are ready for the Chunin exams. I've taught all of them when they were in the academy. I know their strengths and weaknesses better than anyone, said Iruka, particularly worried about Naruko. I understand your concern, Iruka, but they are no longer just your students. They are our soldiers. We know their strengths and weaknesses. Besides, I was half Naruko's age when I took the exams, said Kakashi, trying to calm Iruka down, though it didn't help much. Naruko is nothing like you. Are you trying to put them in harm's way? Iruka asked, anger rising in his voice. Look, Iruka, you're underestimating our students. All right, Kakashi, that's enough, Kurenai interrupted, stepping in. On the contrary, Kurenai, Iruka needs to hear this. As I was saying, you're underestimating them. If you don't allow them to grow, how can they succeed? And yes, I know you're mostly worried about Naruko, but believe me, Naruko is stronger than you think, Kakashi continued. Maybe Kakashi is right. I let my squad wait an extra year to mature and gain more experience, said Guy, dressed in his usual green spandex and orange leg warmers, his bowl-shaped haircut completing the look. That's fine for your students, Guy, but not for mine. They've changed, more than you could have imagined, and sooner than you might have guessed. All right, enough. Iruka, I understand your concern, but trust the Jounin sensei training your former students. Let's move on with the recommendations. Dash. Uck. Why does Kakashi-sensei always ask us to meet so early, yet he shows up hours later? Sakura complained. I didn't even have time to brush my hair. Her hair was slightly disheveled with a few curls sticking up. It looks fine to me, Sakura, Naruko replied, offering a compliment. Shut up, Naruko. No one asked you, Sakura snapped. Poof yo. Sorry I'm late, I got lost on the path of life. Kakashi appeared 2 hours later, casually making his entrance. Liar. Both Sakura and Naruko shouted in unison, recognizing the excuse. Anyway, I know this is sudden, but I've recommended all of you for the Chunin exams, Kakashi said, holding out 3 application forms. Really? Alright, Naruko exclaimed, grabbing one of the applications eagerly. Kakashi handed out the applications and continued, turn in these forms in 5 days at room 301 at the academy. This is your individual choice, so don't take it unless you're serious about participating. See you later. With that, Kakashi vanished. The 3 teammates separated, and Naruko made her way up to the Hokage monument, where she unexpectedly ran into Hinata. Hey, Hinata, what's up? Oh, hi, Naruko. Nothing much, I was just thinking about whether I should take the Chunin exams, Hinata replied shyly. Did you get recommended too? Naruko asked, taking a seat next to her and giving her a supportive smile. Yes, 2 days ago, Hinata said, blushing slightly. 2 days ago? But Kakashi-sensei just told us about it today. Was the recommendation given to everyone, or just us? Naruko asked in surprise. No, Kurenai-sensei told us that all the rookies had been recommended, Hinata clarified. That sneaky guy. Can't he just do one thing without making it difficult for us? Naruko groaned in frustration. Please, calm down, Naruko. I'm sure Kakashi-sensei had his reasons, Hinata said, trying to ease Naruko's frustration. Yeah, I guess. But it still bothers me, Naruko replied, crossing her arms. I'm sure Kakashi-sensei didn't mean to upset you, Hinata continued. But you know, like he says, you have to look underneath the surface. Naruko chuckled. Yeah, you're right. So why are you so worried about taking the Chunin exams? Hinata hesitated before replying, I just don't feel like I'm good enough. My father and the clan elders have never really believed in me, and I'm afraid I won't live up to expectations. What? That's nonsense, Hinata, Naruko exclaimed louder than she intended, causing Hinata to jump a little in surprise. With your gentle fist technique and Byakugan, you'll be amazing. I believe in you, 100%. But my cousin is also participating. He's known as the most gifted of the Hyuga clan. If I face him, I'll probably lose, Hinata admitted. So that's who you're worried about? Look, Hinata, you're stronger than you think. I guarantee it. You just need more confidence, that's all, Naruko said confidently. Do you really think so, Naruko? Hinata asked, her voice tinged with doubt but also touched by Naruko's belief in her. Naruko gently placed her hand on Hinata's cheek and turned her head to face her. Of course I do, Hinata. I don't doubt it for a second. She smiled reassuringly, planting a soft kiss on her cheek. Hinata's face turned bright red, and she turned away, embarrassed. Thank you, Naruko. No problem, Hinata, Naruko said, pulling back just in time to avoid Hinata fainting from sheer fluster. Thanks, Naruko. I think I will take the Chunin exams after all. Really? That's awesome. And you're welcome. For the next hour, they sat quietly, taking in the view of the village. Eventually, Hinata had to head home for dinner, and Naruko decided to get in some training for the upcoming exams. Finally, the day for the Chunin exams had arrived, and everyone who was participating had gathered. Squad 7 was making their way up the stairs when they noticed a crowd of people gathered in front of a room. The door was being blocked by 2 genin. They saw a young boy a little older than them, dressed in green spandex, orange legwarmers, and sporting a bowl haircut, get knocked down. Soon after, a girl in a pink kimono with brown hair tied into 2 buns was also knocked down. As they approached, Sasuke decided to show off in front of the crowd by exposing their tricks. Sheesh, why don't you cut out the act? This is the 2nd floor, not the 3rd. So release the genjutsu, Sasuke remarked confidently. Yeah, it was so easy. It's almost embarrassing, Sakura added. So you saw right through it. Now, let's see what you can do in a real fight, said the boy, who had bandages on his cheeks, as he released the genjutsu and attempted a kick at Sasuke. Sasuke tried to counter with a kick of his own. Just as their kicks were about to connect, the boy in green stepped in, blocking both kicks. What the? How did he block my kick? Sasuke thought. Lee. You were the one who said not to show off, the girl with the buns called out. I'm sorry, Tenten, Lee responded, glancing at Sakura and blushing slightly. Oh brother, Tenten muttered. Lee walked over to Sakura and introduced himself. Hello, I'm Rock Lee. You're Sakura Haruno, right? Yeah? Sakura replied, a bit curious as to where this was going. Please, would you be my girlfriend? Lee asked, looking hopeful. Sakura, with a shocked and disturbed look on her face, quickly responded, definitely. Not. Why? Lee asked, clearly surprised by the rejection. Because you're a bit strange, Sakura replied honestly. Hey, what's your name? Lee's final teammate, a boy with white eyes and brown hair, asked Sasuke. It's common courtesy to say your own name first before asking someone else's, Sasuke answered, his voice laced with arrogance. You're a rookie, right? How old are you? The boy asked. I'm not obliged to answer, Sasuke replied, turning away with his teammates. Why, that arrogant little. Neji thought. HMHM, kind of cute, Tenten mused. HMPF, let's go you two, Neji said impatiently. I'll catch up, there's something I want to see, Lee replied, before following Sasuke. Hey, you with the attitude. Hold on, Lee called from the balcony. Squad 7 turned to face him as Sasuke responded, what do you want? Lee jumped down and said, my name is Rock Lee. You said it's common courtesy to say your own name before asking for someone else's, right, Sasuke Uchiha? HMPF, that's right. Now what do you want? Sasuke asked, raising an eyebrow. I want to fight you, Lee declared, his voice full of confidence. A fight? You think you're a match for me? Sasuke asked, clearly unimpressed. Yes, I do, Lee replied, undeterred. Don't you want a chance at him, Naruko? Sasuke asked, glancing at her. PFT, not today, Sasuke. Go ahead, Naruko replied nonchalantly. Fine. Bring it on, Sasuke said confidently. Sasuke, no. We only have 20 minutes left to submit our applications, Sakura reminded him. Don't worry, I'll only need 5 minutes to handle this, Sasuke replied, not concerned. Always Sasuke, so sure of himself. Well, I'll get my chance eventually. I'll stay out of it and let them go at it, Naruko thought, feeling a pang of jealousy at the attention Sasuke always seemed to get. Sasuke charged at Lee, aiming a right punch at his head. Lee dodged by leaping into the air and countered with a roundhouse kick. I'm not fast enough. I need to block, Sasuke thought, raising his arms to defend himself. Though Sasuke managed to block, Lee's kick still landed, sending Sasuke stumbling backward. Naruko and Sakura gasped. What just happened? How did Lee land a hit on Sasuke? Sakura thought, bewildered. How did he? Sasuke thought, his confidence beginning to waver. HMPF, interesting. I've been waiting to try this out, he said, determined. Sasuke closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, he revealed the Sharingan, only this time, he had 2 comma marks in each eye, unlike the version he had shown in the Land of Waves. Ah, the Sharingan. If it's anything like Kakashi-sensei's, then this will be easy for Sasuke, Sakura thought, hopeful. The Sharingan? Will it really make much of a difference? Kakashi-sensei's had 3 comma marks, but Sasuke only has 2 in each eye. I saw the kick that Bushy Brow landed easily. Moving at high speeds like my jutsu does, I need to be able to keep up. Well, let's see how this goes, Naruko thought, uncertain if the Sharingan would actually help Sasuke. The Sharingan, huh? I'm sorry, Guy-sensei, but I might have to use that move, Lee thought, preparing himself. Sasuke charged again, but it was no use. Sasuke couldn't land a hit on Lee. Lee managed to land blow after blow, until Sasuke was once again sent tumbling to the ground. Do you see now? I'm not using ninjutsu or genjutsu. I'm only using taijutsu. With the Sharingan, you can read a person's chakra and hand signs. That allows you to figure out what your opponent will do next, even before they know themselves. But taijutsu is a bit different, Lee explained. Yeah, so? Sasuke replied, still trying to regain his footing. So, just because you can see my moves, doesn't mean you can counter them if you don't have the necessary speed. So, your Sharingan won't help you against me. Sasuke charged again, frustrated that her clan's Kekkei Genkai had been questioned. Still not convinced? Lee asked. Sasuke aimed for a punch, but missed as Lee disappeared. The next thing she knew, she was airborne, a sharp pain coursing through her jaw. Once her back was parallel to the ground, Sasuke glanced behind her to see Lee. Dancing leaf shadow, Sasuke said, recognizing the technique that usually followed. Good observation. But it won't help here. Lee replied, unwrapping the cloth around her hands. Just as Lee prepared for the next move, a spinning pinwheel struck the cloth, pinning it to the wall. This is bad, Lee said, landing softly on the ground next to a tortoise. Sasuke, unable to respond, was shocked by the turn of events. Sasuke, shouted Sakura, rushing to catch her. You were watching the whole time? Lee asked, kneeling on one knee. That's right. You know that technique is forbidden, Lee. I don't want to hear any excuses. Now, come on out, Guy-sensei, said the tortoise. Poof, hey, what's up, kids? Asked Guy, who resembled an older version of Lee. Thanks, Ningame. No problem, Guy-sensei. Replied the tortoise, now known as Ningame. Lee, you fool, Guy exclaimed, smacking Lee on the head. This caused Team 7 to sweat nervously at the display. Ouch. Lee groaned, slowly getting back up. Lee. Guy-sensei. Lee. Guy-sensei. The two began hugging dramatically, a sunset genjutsu background framing their embrace. Ugh. That's a little too much. Thought everyone in Squad 7, feeling uneasy at the strange scene. Who is this guy? He's got the same bowl haircut, and those even bushier eyebrows, shouted Naruko. Hey, don't insult Guy-sensei. He's the greatest ninja in the world, Lee shouted back. Sorry. I was just too creeped out by your matching appearances. It's all right, Lee. No need to argue over something so trivial, Guy said, cutting Lee off. You're Kakashi's students, right? Yeah, so? Naruko replied. Who are you? Guy, in a slightly theatrical manner, responded before Lee could speak. Some people say he and I are rivals for all eternity. What? No way. Naruko replied, skeptical. Ha ha. They do say actions speak louder than words, Guy said, suddenly vanishing. Where did he go? Sakura wondered aloud. Ah. He's behind us, Naruko said, causing Sasuke and Sakura to turn around. How did she figure that out so quickly? Did she see Guy-sensei move? But that's impossible, she was the dead last of the rookies. By all accounts, she was the only one who saw Guy-sensei. Lee thought, surprised by Naruko's quick perception. How did her eyes keep up with my speed? Guy thought, impressed. The score stands 50 wins and 49 losses, by the way. No way. How did she beat Kakashi-sensei? Naruko asked. That shouldn't matter right now. We need to get our applications in, Sakura said, taking on the role of the voice of reason. Guy glanced at the clock and saw there were only 10 minutes left before the Chunin exam registration deadline. You're right. Lee, your punishment is to run 500 laps around the village, but that will have to wait until after the Chunin exam. With that, Guy disappeared. Yes, Guy-sensei. Lee replied, then turned to Sasuke. Sasuke, just so you know, you were only a test for my skills. My true objective is my own teammate. Although you were a test, you're my target now. Lee then turned to Naruko. And you, what's your name? Huh? My name's Naruko Uzumaki. Why? Naruko replied. Because you were able to see my sensei move, you are now my target too. You two have been warned, Lee said, before leaving to catch up with her teammates. Naruko, how did you manage to keep up with that speed? Sakura asked. Well, I've been training with my jutsu, and my eyes have gotten used to high speeds. But without my jutsu, I can't react to it that quickly. Naruko explained. Oh, that makes sense. Sakura replied. Anyway, Sasuke, you know why you lost, right? I mean, you saw her hands. She probably trains every day, and that's what makes the difference. Naruko added. This is getting exciting. It's like all the best are here, testing us. This should be fun. Sasuke claimed, looking forward to what lay ahead. I'm glad you came, Sakura, said Kakashi, standing before room 301. What are you doing here, Kakashi-sensei? And what do you mean? Asked Sakura. I mean that if you had decided not to show up, I would have had to turn Naruko and Sasuke away. Teams can only enter this exam in groups of 3. Although I said it's your choice whether to take the exam, I didn't want Naruko or Sasuke to influence your decision. I wanted you to make it on your own. Well, it's all irrelevant now, you're all here. Go on in, and good luck. Kakashi explained. Right. Naruko, Sasuke, and Sakura replied, walking into the room. Whoa. I had no idea there would be so much competition, said Sakura, losing her nerve upon seeing the number of people in the room. Sasuke, Ino yelled, jumping onto Sasuke's back. I haven't seen you in ages. I miss those broody good looks of yours. Hey Porker, let go of Sasuke now, yelled Sakura. Oh, forehead, you're still here. I'm surprised they let you in the exams, Ino taunted. Leave my forehead out of this, you pig. Sakura shot back. So, it's you guys. Great, more competition, said Shikamaru, coming to stand with everyone alongside Choji. Hey, it's the Three Stooges. They let you guys in? Said Naruko, teasing Shikamaru. Say what? You know something, you little. Never mind, you're not even worth the breath, replied Shikamaru. So, the rookie nine together again, huh? Said Kiba, walking up with his teammates. You guys too? Oh man, what a drag, said Shikamaru. Looks like it's a sure thing, at least for those of us good enough to make the cut. Right, Sasuke? Said Kiba. HMPF, don't get too confident, Kiba, replied Sasuke. HMPF, we've been training too hard to lose to you guys, Kiba grumbled. What do you think we've been doing? You don't even know what training means, Naruko yelled, slightly irritated that Kiba was underestimating her. Always acting like he's the best. I hope I get to prove myself in these exams. Sorry, Naruko. He didn't mean it like that, said Hinata, acting as she did before dating Naruko. Huh? Asked Naruko. Hinata looked away, blushing. HN? Kiba looked towards Hinata, noticing her blush. Ugh, damn that Naruko. What does Hinata see in that idiot? Kiba thought. Hey, you guys are rookies, right? You should keep it down, or you'll make yourself a target, said an older boy wearing purple with a white sash and glasses. He also had silver hair. Who are you? Asked Ino. I'm Kabuto Yakashi. You might want to look around. Everybody's on edge. Those guys behind you are from the Hidden Rain, very touchy. You don't want to get on anyone's bad side, Kabuto replied. Well, I can relate. I was the same way when I was a rookie, so I'll help you out a bit. How many times have you taken the exams? Asked Sakura. Since they're held twice a year, this will be my 7th time. Anyway, I got some ninja info cards. I have information on nearly everybody. It's not complete, but it should still help, answered Kabuto. Think you can show me the info you have about a few people? Asked Sasuke. Sure, who do you want to know about? Give me a description, where they're from, anything, said Kabuto. There's Gaara of the desert, Rock Lee of the Hidden Leaf, and just for the fun of it, this idiot right here, Sasuke said, pointing at Naruko with his thumb. Hey, yelled Naruko. Oh, that's easy, Kabuto said, pulling out 3 cards from his stack and holding them up. Here they are. Show them to me, Sasuke requested. First, Rock Lee. He's a year older, and this is also his first time taking the exams. He's completed 20 and 12C ranked missions. His sensei is Might Guy, and his teammates are Tenten and Neji Hyuga. In the past year, his taijutsu has increased dramatically, but his other skills are a bit lacking. Next is Gaara. His skills are unknown since he's from the Hidden Sand. He's completed an unknown number of ranked missions, but has 8C ranked and, get this, a B ranked mission as a Genin. And he came back from every mission without a scratch. A B rank as a Genin, and he's never been injured? No way, said Shikamaru. No way am I going to mess with that guy. Now, Naruko Uzumaki. 7 and 1C ranked missions turned A. Along with you and Sakura Haruno. Her sensei is the famed Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. Skills aren't the most impressive out there, but it says she's the only one of you to land a hit on a rogue jounin from the Hidden Mist. Zabuza Momochi, one of the 7 ninja swordmen, aka the demon of the Hidden Mist. What I don't get is how a rookie Genin with minimal skills managed to hit such an experienced jounin. Kabuto finished, curious about how Naruko had achieved such a feat. What? That loser hit a jounin? Yeah, right, yelled Ino and Kiba at once. That's a good question. Even we don't know how, answered Sakura. What? You mean that's true? Asked Ino. By this time, most of the room was staring at Naruko, having difficulty believing that someone wearing orange could land a hit on a jounin. Well, I was a prankster in the academy. So if a jounin underestimates me, even they can fall for my tricks. Hee, Naruko answered, thankful that Sakura helped cover Naruko's secret. Anyway, said Kabuto, pulling out a card with a map. Leaf, sand, grass, waterfall, rain, and sound. They all sent participants to this year's tuning exams. In all the years I've been here, I've never seen such a group with exceptional skills. This will be the hardest exam I've been in yet. Almost sounds like it's enough to make you lose confidence, said Hinata. Yeah, but the Sound Village is new. There's not much known about them. They're small, and they're a mystery, said Kabuto. If only I was as confident as I sounded when I recommended them. I mean, even the cockiest of them should be nervous, Kakashi thought. I'm Naruko Uzumaki, and I'm gonna beat every one of you. Believe it, Naruko yelled. Or not. Ha. Naruko, do you have to make us a target? Sakura shouted, placing Naruko in a playful headlock. Did you hear what she said? She mentioned the sound as a bit of a mystery, said the sound ninja with spiky black hair. Yeah, I heard. What if we share some info with her? Replied the bandaged sound ninja. Sure, let's do that, said the sound kunoichi with long black hair. Sakura, in the meantime, released Naruko and began lecturing her. Naruko noticed some movement among the other candidates and prepared herself, just in case. Suddenly, the spiky-haired ninja jumped and threw 2 kunai toward Kabuto. Kabuto dodged easily, but then saw the bandaged ninja moving in for an attack as well. Before the bandaged ninja could strike, Naruko swiftly kicked him in the ribs, knocking him off balance. Are you okay, Kabuto? Naruko asked, standing tall after her action. Yeah, thanks, Naruko, Kabuto replied. Hey, kid, what's your problem? Asked the spiky-haired ninja, while his kunoichi teammate helped the bandaged ninja to his feet. I could ask you the same thing. Attacking one of our leaf ninjas is a big mistake, Naruko countered. Looks like she's about as good as you said, Lee, Neji remarked. Yes, maybe even better, Lee replied. Poof, alright, that's enough. You 3 from the sound, do you want to be disqualified before the exams even begin? Said a tall man in a black trench coat. What? What about her? The spiky one yelled. She was defending a comrade from an attack, but the warning goes for everyone. I'll say this once, no fighting unless a proctor specifically allows it, and even then, there will be no extreme actions, the man responded. Now, I'm Iviki Morino, your proctor, and you'd better follow the rules. Alright, squads, line up. Once you hand in your applications, you'll be assigned a number. That number will tell you where to sit for the written exam, said Kotetsu, a chonin. A written test? No. Someone groaned in the back. Once everyone was seated, Iviki explained the rules of the exam. 25 minutes into it, Naruko began to panic, while many others had figured out various ways to cheat without getting caught. Several had been caught 5 times, getting disqualified alongside their teammates. 5 minutes later, Naruko noticed a small rolled-up paper in front of her. She picked it up and unrolled it, surprised to find the answers to questions 1 to 9. Looking to her right, she saw Hinata, who smiled and blushed at Naruko. No way. Hinata's helping me? This is incredible. I just hope she doesn't get in trouble for this, Naruko thought, smiling back at her. Sakura, recovering from Ino's mind transfer jutsu, noticed Naruko writing something on her test. Naruko, are you cheating? You better not get caught, or Sasuke and I will be very upset. She thought. Did Naruko figure it out? If so, how is she cheating without getting caught? Sasuke wondered. Naruko finished writing the answers and swallowed the piece of paper just as Iviki called time for the first 9 questions. Alright, pencils down, Iviki said. He then explained the new rules for question 10. You either take the question and risk failing, or you pass and try again next time. If you want to pass, raise your hand. One by one, participants started giving up. Finally, Naruko raised her hand, surprising Hinata and her teammates. Slam, don't ever underestimate me, Scareface. I don't quit, and I won't back down. Even if I have to stay a Genin forever, I'll still become Hokage, Naruko shouted, full of confidence. Your ninja career depends on this decision. Are you sure you don't want to reconsider? Iviki asked. No way. I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way, Naruko replied. Her speech seems to have given some others more courage, Ibiki thought, looking around the room. Seeing no one else quitting, he decided to continue. Alright, for all those who chose to answer the question, you all pass. What? Everyone shouted in surprise. Ibiki then explained the reason behind the question. It was designed to test their ability to gather information, turning the 10th question into a hypothetical mission scenario. Crash. A woman flew through the window, unveiling a large banner that read, "Your proctor for the second test, Anko Mitarashi. Don't start celebrating just yet, maggots." Ibiki, you let 78 Janan pass? You're getting soft, Anko said. Or maybe there's a better group of participants this time, Ibiki responded. Sure doesn't look like it. Well, either way, there will be fewer than half of you by the time I'm through, Anko added. Fewer than half? Someone asked nervously. Alright, that's all for today. I'll let your squad leaders know where you'll be meeting tomorrow morning. See you then, Anko concluded. The next day, the second stage of the exams had begun, and Squad 7 was taking a short break. Suddenly, they heard a scream. Was that a scream? Sakura asked, worried that she had indeed heard something unsettling. Don't worry, Sakura. Anyway, I need to take a quick break, Naruko said, heading toward the bushes. A moment later, a ninja wearing a white jumpsuit and a breathing mask appeared, tumbling into the clearing. Ugh, what is this? The ninja grumbled, standing up. Sasuke and Sakura both noticed the Rain Village symbol on his headband. Naruko, are you alright? Sakura called out, her voice raised as she couldn't see Naruko. Damn it. Can't a girl have some privacy? Naruko shouted back, slightly irritated. Sakura blushed, feeling embarrassed for interrupting something private. I couldn't tie that fool up and take your scroll, so I guess I'll just have to take it by force. The Rain Ninja declared, pulling out a kunai and launching an attack on Sasuke. Try me. Sakura, be careful, there could be more of them nearby. Sasuke warned. Got it. Sakura replied, quickly pulling out her own kunai. Sasuke retaliated, engaging in combat with the ninja. After a few moments, Naruko jumped into the fray. Alright, you jerk, it's payback time for ruining my break, she shouted, leaping out of the bushes with her kunai drawn. This isn't good. I came here without backup to avoid suspicion. Big mistake. The Rain Ninja muttered, clearly in trouble. Not so fast, Naruko yelled, jumping in his path and landing a hit on his shoulder with her kunai. Ugh. You'll regret that. The ninja snarled, quickly running off with Naruko's kunai. Once the area was calm, Sasuke turned to Naruko. Naruko, you could have led us to his teammates. Did that kunai have a seal on it? Hee, yup. We'll just wait till dark, and we'll get them, Naruko responded with a grin. Nice work, loser, Sasuke remarked with his usual cool demeanor. Shut up, Sasuke, Naruko snapped. Sasuke then suggested a secret password to ensure no one could disguise themselves as their team. If someone asks, when does a ninja strike? You respond with, a ninja waits until the time is right, when their weapons lie forgotten in the stillness of the night, that is when a ninja strikes. Got it? Yep. Sakura nodded. Got a version that's a bit shorter? Naruko asked, scratching her head. Come on, don't tell me you didn't understand all that. It's easy to memorize, Sakura said with a smile. I got it. I just thought it was a password, not a whole speech. Naruko replied with a smirk. A sudden gust of wind blew through, and a piece of debris struck Naruko in the face. Realizing it was part of a jutsu, she shouted, watch out. It's a wind-style jutsu. Suddenly, a massive snake appeared before them. Ah, great. Naruko muttered. The snake lunged at her, but Naruko dodged and immediately began performing hand signs. Wind style, great breakthrough jutsu, she shouted. The wind blast hit the snake, pushing it back a few meters. Whoa, that didn't do as much as I thought. But here it comes again, Naruko said, narrowly avoiding another strike from the snake. Frustrated, she thought about what to do next. Alright, enough of this. Wind style, wind blades jutsu, she yelled, sending sharp blades of wind toward the snake. The attack did some damage but wasn't enough to stop it. Ugh, this is frustrating, Naruko yelled, getting increasingly tired of dodging. She knew if she didn't deal with the snake soon, it would keep chasing her. I've got it, Naruko shouted, forming a new plan. Shadow clone jutsu. She created a shadow clone and threw it into the snake's mouth. Inside the snake, the clone multiplied, expanding rapidly and causing the snake to burst apart. Back outside, Naruko sighed in relief. Alright, time to get back to the others. Thud 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 thud. Naruko arrived just in time to stop the grass ninja in her tracks. Naruko, get out of here. We're out of our depth, Sasuke shouted, warning her of the enemy's strength. Don't worry, Sasuke, Naruko yelled, forming hand signs. Wind style, great breakthrough jutsu. The attack struck the grass ninja, causing her to break through the branch she was standing on. She landed safely on a different branch, looking up at Naruko. You little troublemakers, she hissed, biting her thumb and beginning to form hand signs. Summoning jutsu. A giant snake appeared beneath her, destroying the branch she had been standing on. So you were the one who sent that snake after me. Take this, Naruko shouted, launching another wind style, wind blades jutsu. This time, the attack was more effective, but still not enough to defeat the summoned snake. You're stronger than I thought, but you're still just a Jinan, the grass ninja taunted. The battle continued for a while, but Naruko couldn't land a solid hit with her kunai or shuriken. Growing frustrated, she decided to tap into the Nine Tails chakra. The grass ninja, sensing this, knew it could become a problem. As soon as Naruko killed the snake, the ninja restrained her and activated the five-pronged seal, disrupting Naruko's chakra flow and causing her to lose consciousness. The grass ninja tossed Naruko aside against a nearby tree. Sakura, noticing Naruko was about to fall, quickly threw her kunai, connecting it to Naruko's jacket and saving her from harm. Meanwhile, Sasuke continued fighting the grass ninja but was eventually overpowered and marked with the curse mark. The ninja revealed her true identity as Orochimaru and claimed that Sasuke would seek him out for power. The following morning, Squad 10 found themselves in a struggle with the sound ninjas. Sasuke had already recovered and defeated the spiky-haired sound ninja, Zaku. He was about to confront the bandaged sound ninja, Dosu, when Sakura stepped in to calm him down. Sighing in relief, Dosu spoke, "We're safe for now." Suddenly, Dosu was enveloped in a cloud of smoke and sent flying, crashing into a tree. What just happened? Tenten asked in confusion. I don't know, I didn't have my Byakugan active, Neji replied, equally puzzled. Once the smoke cleared, Dosu was nowhere to be seen. What was that? He muttered. Sasuke, we'll be no match for you now, but next time it'll be different. Here, take our scroll, and in return, we'll leave peacefully. He placed the scroll on the ground before picking up his teammates and leaving. We're going, Tenten, Neji said. Right, Tenten replied. Once Tenten had lectured Lee about his recklessness, they left. Squad 10 soon followed, leaving Squad 7 as the only remaining group. Sai, this isn't good. What should we do, Sasuke? Sakura asked. What do you mean? We have both the Heaven and Earth scrolls, don't we? Sasuke replied. No, that ninja from the grass village named Orochimaru burned our Heaven scroll, Sakura explained. Hey, guys. If that ninja from the Rain village still has my kunai, maybe we can take their scroll if it's the one we need, Naruko suggested. That was the original plan. Alright, we'll wait for tonight and hope they have the scroll we need. For now, we should rest. We might need to fight for it, Sasuke replied. Last night's plan had been a success. Squad 7 was now on their way to the tower with both the Heaven and Earth scrolls. The Rain ninja was awake but was quickly subdued after being caught off guard by their sudden appearance. Ah. What was that? Sakura asked. It doesn't matter. It doesn't concern us, Sasuke replied. But what if it's another leaf ninja, and they're in trouble? Sakura pressed. It's not our problem. It's every person for themselves in this stage, Sasuke said coldly. Sasuke, you can be so cold sometimes. You guys go on ahead. I'll catch up. Just throw the kunai after you've entered the tower, but make sure you're alone first. Later, Naruko said, running off to investigate the scream. Does he know that we can't enter the tower without him? Sakura asked, confused. Obviously not. We'll wait for him at the tower, Sasuke answered. Wind style, great breakthrough jutsu. Naruko's technique hit the bear hard, knocking it unconscious. Are you alright? Naruko asked, landing in front of the girl with bright red hair. The girl picked up her glasses and put them on. Yes, thank you. Wait, you're that loudmouthed kid from the first stage of the exams. Yeah, my name's Naruko. What's yours? Naruko asked. My name's Karen, she replied. What's your last name? Naruko asked, curious. How should I know? I'm an orphan. My village was destroyed about a year ago. I survived because I could sense a lot of people coming, Karen explained. Really? That's pretty cool. So where are your teammates? Naruko asked. They abandoned me as soon as they saw the bear. Doesn't matter to me anymore, Karen replied bitterly. Well, maybe you could come with us. I mean, I'd like to get to know my cousin a little better, hee, Naruko said with a friendly smile. Wait, what do you mean cousin? Karen asked, confused. Well, my last name is Uzumaki. Most Uzumakis have bright red hair like yours. My hair comes from my dad, that's why it's not red. Hee, Naruko explained with a shrug. Thanks, but no thanks. I won't betray Lord Orochimaru. Never mind, Karen responded. Orochimaru? You serve him? He attacked me and my teammates the other night. I don't know much about him, but I do know he's bad news, Naruko warned. He was one of the legendary Sannin of the Leaf, Karen said defensively. Was? That means he's a traitor. He'll probably betray you someday too. I wouldn't trust him if I were you, Naruko said, her voice full of concern. I find that hard to believe. Just like your story about us being related, Karen retorted. But it's true. The Uzumaki clan came from the land of eddies. The Uzumaki symbol is even on the backs of the flak jackets of the Leaf Ninja. The land of eddies is about 20 miles northeast of the land of waves, since the country was destroyed in one of the past wars by their enemies. The Uzumaki clan was also really skilled in sealing jutsu, Naruko explained, hoping that Karen would reconsider. Karen was deep in thought. She wasn't sure what to believe. Orochimaru had been the one who found her and took her in after her village was destroyed. Was it just a coincidence? Or had Orochimaru caused the loss of her village? She couldn't ask Orochimaru about it, he might end her life. She was torn between two sides, the one who took her in and the one who claimed to be her family. After a long pause, Karen finally spoke, Sorry, Naruko, but I have to stay with Orochimaru for now. He would kill me if he thought I might betray him. But I can find a way to get you information about his movements when I get the chance. If I find out you're right, I'll find a way to contact you. But if I find out you're lying, I'll make sure you regret it. Got it? Sure. Fine by me. Although I wish you'd come with me, we'd be able to protect you, Naruko replied sincerely. Maybe, but I'm playing it safe the way I think is best for me. If I find out you're right, I'll get in touch. If I need your help, I'll reach out. Got it? Karen said with determination. Hey, you bet. Anyway, I guess I should go now. See you around, cousin. Bye. Cousin, Karen said, her voice soft but uncertain. Scoff, it's about time, Naruko. What took you so long? Sakura called out. Hee, sorry. Had to take care of something, if you know what I mean, Naruko replied, scratching the back of her head. That's gross, you idiot, Sakura yelled. Whatever, let's just get inside, Sasuke said, clearly wanting to finish this stage. And with that, I wrap up this segment. Thanks for sticking with me through it all. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share it with your friends to spread the love. Your support means everything, and it keeps me motivated to bring even more awesome content your way. Stay tuned for the next one, and as always, keep embracing the world of anime and all its greatness. Regards. Six Path Weeb.